Right, so we are up in, I think, recording, so we're now gonna turn it over to the elections. Good, I don't know which of you is taking it, so I'm just gonna look that direction.
I'm back up.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Sauer, commissioners, and my board chair, to everybody, I'm Christy from the election office, and this is our, board chair, of the College Board of Learning. We're gonna go through our line on budget. The first thing, for the, director's, salary, we're asking for, an increase for the, director to be 50,000. And the reason for that, back March 18th of 2025, it, in our board meeting, it was motioned by the, it was motioned for the, director, salary to be 50,000 to 55. I do have the minutes for that, if you would like to see it.
From you, the Board of Elections Board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the, on March 18th, it was, voted upon to, the director's salary to be 50 to 55,000. And, I have, then the director has to, within 3 years, complete, all the, requirements from the state. And also, we're asking for a full-time election specialist. And the reason why, because, we need we do have 2 part-time positions right now, but a full-time person will be more beneficial for the, election department, to be somebody in there that's gonna be consistent. And, the state is, mandating a lot of different, new laws and, deadlines that we have to meet. And, if we have somebody there just there weekly, that would be better than somebody there that's on part-time, that's maybe there 2 days a week. So that everything, that we meet every deadline, because we don't want, them to send us emails and saying that we're not meeting our deadlines. And we want to make sure we're in compliance with the state and that we're doing everything that we need to do. The next thing for our poll workers, I'm also asking for, the poll workers, when they do the poll worker training, they just get a flat fee of $15. If they're there for an hour, they get $15. If they're there 2 hours, they get $15. In 3 hours, they're there for $15. And they have complained to me, and then also, to the, previous, director. They want to know why they just get $15 if they're there for, 2 hours or 3 hours, which I understand. So I'm asking if, we can change that for the, poll workers, if whenever they do training, if however long that they can get whatever their, pay is $15 an hour, whatever they get, can they just, with the hours, can they just get that? If they, do 2 hours of training, can they get paid for 2 hours instead of just a flat fee? They've been asking, they are still complaining about that, and we want to keep our poll workers, because with our poll workers, that's how we help run the elections. And overall, they do a wonderful job with the election. This election, it went very smooth. We didn't have any issues. And we need our poll workers. And so we want to make sure that we can try to accommodate them. And also, and I'm going to the next line, item 171, with our board members, with different conferences, they have to attend, the, conferences, and they, have absentee meetings that they have to, attend, LNA testing and canvases, that they have to, come to. Line 181, 182, 183, we're gonna keep the same. 186, we're gonna keep the same. 192, the attorney fees, we're gonna keep that the same. 193, we're gonna increase it by 200. There's an increase in expenses. And line 261, we're asking for an increase of $1,000 for supplies. They are going up, and, we want to make sure that we have enough, office supplies, daily, to make sure that the office is running, properly. We're gonna keep the line for 291, keep that the same. 293, we're gonna ask for an increase, by 12,000, because we're in need of new laptops. Some of our laptops that we have, they are old, and I've talked to the IT department, and, they do need to be replaced. And also we need scanners, and the reason why we need these, scanners, the state is requiring statewide that, everybody have scanners on like election day, and that's for to make sure that we're giving the voters the correct ballots. And with those scanners, it is some handheld, we have some old handheld, but they do not make them anymore. And, I did reach out to the state, to see where can we get some, and as of right now, the last email I got was on Monday. She said they're still looking, to see where we can just get handheld. If we can't get a handheld scanner, we would have to get a laptop. That we would need 6 laptops for each precinct. And, I have to buy a scan, we also have to buy that scanner and the laptops for them to use. Because we want to make sure that, everybody's getting the correct ballot, because we don't want nobody getting the, incorrect ballot. And also, let's see. And we also, and line item 299, we're gonna increase, that also because we, need, like new equipment for, the elections, like we need, they're blue bags that we keep the election items in. A lot of those bags, they are, the zippers are broke, so anybody can just go into those, and we wanna make sure that all these, items are secure. And we're, gonna also need, thumb drives, and the thumb drive that we get is from ES&S, and those thumb drives are about, they're like $100 a piece. Yes. I believe I gave y'all, yeah, they're a little expensive, but thumb drive, it's specific ones, I'm sorry, they're 125 a piece. So, and we're gonna probably need about 10, because we have to use those for all the different precincts. We do need those, and we're gonna move on to, line item, 311, the travel, like previously, like, what she was saying, for soil and water, prices have increased, hotels and, just everything's going up. We're gonna, and then also, our part-time staff, when they come to the, post office, Mr. Sauer, he, allowed it for us to, pay them when they come to the, post office to get, travel paid to come to the post office daily. And line item 321 is our telephone and postage. We're increasing that, because like on this, previous year, we had, we moved, precinct 1, Gatesville from, the social service to the community center, and so that was over 1,000 people. We had to send out cards to everybody, so if we ever move precinct, everybody has to get a new card, so we have to, send out new cards to everybody, so, it's, posted, it went up a little bit, and also, a lot of people, when they're changing parties, when you change parties, you gotta get a new card, so a lot of people have changed their parties, and so, we've been sending out a lot of cards, lately. So we're asking for an increase in, that also. And we added, line number, 351, repair and, for the building, we're asking for $6,000. We need, locks for the window at the front, when you first walk into the, office. We're asking, we want to put locks on those windows, and also we're asking for a wall separation between, our department and the food bank. And the reason why we're asking for a wall separation is that we want to make sure that the election office is secure. And sometimes, with the food bank, they, have volunteers that come in, and sometimes they do come onto, our side, and we're not there, like on weekends. And we want to make sure that the election office is secure. That is very important, because we don't want, anybody to go into, any of our, rooms, with any of the election equipment. So we're asking for a wall separation, but, if they're not there, if we are able to have the building ourselves, we won't need the, money for the wall separation. And we're gonna keep on line number 370, advertisement, for the election. That's gonna keep that cover all the advertisement for elections, and that is, state required. We have to advertise for the election department. And the, line number 395, the travel registration, we're asking for more to cover, we have 2 full-time employees to go to all the trainings and classes that we need. 399, we're gonna keep that the same. 432, the, postal umbrella, we're gonna keep that the same. 440, we're gonna increase that by 200, and the increase, in the agreement. Line 451, we're gonna keep that the same. 490, keep the same. 491, the same. And we added, 580. And that's, because right now, some of our, equipment is in the, old prison, and we're gonna need to get that out. We're asking, I did go and, try to get an estimate if we get a building, if we get, let's see, I went to East Carolina Unlimited in Ahoskie. They did give an estimate of, some buildings. But like if we get, and if we get one with, and have to put a slab down, that's gonna be a lot more. But he said that we could just use the concrete that's out there if we could, or if we wanted just to sit it on the grass. He said that would be totally up to us, whatever, we wanted to do, so. We was just asking for money for that, but if food banks leave, we won't need this. But if they stay, we will need, to get a building to put the rest of our items from the prison in. Even full-time. Yeah.
Has the board discussed the additional staffing and what was the board discussion as far as that? Goes?
Yeah, and we've asked in previous budgets to have a full-time position. And the problem is that with a lot of the day-to-day things she has to do, only she can access them. Only she can do those duties. So if she's sick and we have a deadline, or and we have an audit that has a deadline, or something that has a deadline, she's out of the office. Case in point, we both had jury duty last week.
What are the chances, right?
I know, and she was chosen to be on the jury, and was, unfortunately, it was only a day, but no one else in the office can do those duties if they're not a deputy director.
And if I may, if I remember you called me, she had to leave vacation to come back to do something the year before. She had a week off and had to cut her vacation short to come back and work because there was no one in the office that is legally allowed to even obtain access to the things she does unless they're full-time, is the way it was explained to me. So I just want to clarify that.
Part-time can't do it, so is the intent that if we hire full-time, 2 part-time positions go away.
The full-time could, and the way it works is that we can, if we need additional staff, like someone to answer the phone while we're handling election duties during election time, then we can have a poll worker.
Right.
Yeah, so,
Right.
yeah.
That's kind of what I was asking, because
So
if
two
you hire another one, and you keep 2 part-timers, you really haven't.
Yeah, and I have,
Decided the staff,
and then I have information for other counties and how they do that on one of these stacks here we go. If you wanted to know like how they do their.
Yep, exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
I was getting to there.
Oh, you're getting to that one, okay. Yeah, but, like election week, I saw her for time sheets. She was working 80 hours some weeks. And this is her first year on the job. So, but the biggest thing that I have a concern about is if she leaves, we don't have anyone trained. We have to start off from scratch. And she's been, how many trainings have you done this year? Conferences and trainings, and I meant to ask you that earlier.
Well, I was just asking about, because I'm not arguing about the necessity of having a full-time person. I'm simply right now just saying, if you have, your argument is 2 part-times can't do it. If you have a full-time, the 2 part-times go away. And like I said, in urgent times when you're working your butt off during election time, poll workers can help assist with some of that, but you do have to, I don't argue that point. I just think from a, I guess, equity standpoint, 2 part-timers, if they can't do the role, and you hire full-time because they can't, then those 2 kind of slide away, is my thought. That's all that. And then the follow-up was, I think before there was a discussion about what our neighboring counties do as far as their staffing, and that's what I was hoping, thought you were gonna get at.
So Gates County currently has 1 director, part-time office assistant, and a pool of 5 people that, well, right now we have 2 part-time people, this is from last year. So I did not get that updated, but this is a general idea of what other counties do. And I think that we said last year Hertford was most comparable to our situation. And Hertford has a director salary of 58,893, and a director and one part-time position. But they pull from, poll
Sure.
workers as well.
Sure.
That was the most comparable one. We see Chowan is one director, part-time deputy director, and one part-time office assistant. But their director has retired. And I wanted to discuss that as well, is the rate of how things are changing.
Mhm.
So with the system updates, a lot of the older directors are retiring and quitting, and in mass exodus. Just in our district, we had one retire, one quit, 3 ready to retire in 6 months, just in our district. One deputy retired and 6 new directors in less than 2 years. So the turnover is really high for the counties, especially with low pay rates, low incentives, and larger workloads.
So retention is gonna be essential for us, knowing that turnover is great. The demand is always great because you gotta have, that's something to consider. I was very surprised about the $15 rate, no matter how many hours you work. That's kind of disturbing.
This is for the training.
Oh, that's for training.
It's for
Yeah.
training.
Oh, gotcha.
That would be very disturbing.
I would want to get paid $15 for 3 hours or 2 hours.
So you brought that up.
My,
Problem I have with that is if somebody's super slow and loafs around doing it, to get 3 hours.
that's what I was
Salary,
thinking.
sorry, if you wanna jump that flat rate up, I'd be totally supportive of jumping the flat rate up and then still everybody's the same amount, whether they take half an hour or take 4 hours.
Cause it's a lot of inefficiencies, it's kind of like you don't wanna hire a contractor by the hour, you wanna hire them for the job type deal.
Yeah.
But then that is accountability. If accountability is school districts taking place, there shouldn't be nobody slacking around, somebody not doing what they're supposed to do. There should be structure. You expect to do this in a timely time. You're gonna get this rate for doing time and manner. I wouldn't want to get paid $15 for 2 hours.
I agree.
Based on somebody being, diligent. Not.
Well, normally, like when you be a training, nobody like just taking their time. We, try to make sure we go through the, training real thoroughly, to make sure that everybody knows why they're doing it. Some, like, we have some older people, they absolutely do not want to, do computer, which I get it. But, a lot of the ones that, what I did, like the ones that did not do the computer, I allowed them to leave, we don't leave, but the ones that were actually working on the computer and they stayed longer, so to make sure that they know what they're doing, because on election day, you don't want, it looks bad if somebody's just sitting there and don't know what to do, so I make sure that they know what they were doing, and then while they were there working, actually early voting, if somebody needed help, we still had the laptops available for them to go up there to practice, so they could also do that while they were working. And some people, they get on there when they were not working, because they said they still weren't sure, because we did get new poll workers. They did come in on their day off to train on the computer, which I wanted them to do, because I want them to be comfortable. We want to make sure that they're doing the right stuff, because of what incident that happened in Hertford County from 25. The poll workers gave the voters the wrong paper. That
Yeah, I'm not down for the value of training, I'm just down to the model of paying them out.
I think it should be more of a stipend type thing, which would be a flat rate versus an hourly type thing, because again,
Somebody comes in, like you're saying, if the older person like me, maybe has bad eyes, maybe glasses, it's gonna take me longer to do it. It takes me 2 hours, and somebody else can come in and do it in 45 minutes, still get paid for doing it. If 15 sounds like it's silly, if somebody's spending a couple of 3 hours.
because they're doing the same workload.
But it's a small fee, so I guess what I'm saying is it would seem to make more sense, it's really a small fee. Going from 15 to doubling it would be a problem for me, because again, it's a small fee. I mean, I'd be willing to say $30, but still a flat rate versus a open-ended hourly rate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my perspective.
Mhm.
But I mean, how many people we talking about here? It's a lot, but
Yeah,
still
normally when we do I did a training, it may be like 10 people
at a time.
at a time.
$30 if we went up to there.
Right, but you're already spending 150.
150, right.
But you get like 30 or 40 people or more to do this total.
For early voting, I've had,
I'm talking about for the general election, because they're all gonna have to have the same training, right?
yeah, there's some, yes, some, like, some people just do, election day, and then we do some districts, they do, I had some people just do early
Really
voting.
good,
Yeah, and some did both.
right? I guess I'm saying it's a total number of people.
I think we had about a total, I think it was like 50.
Yeah, it's like 50.
I know you had 31 in payroll,
Yeah.
because 29 were paid,
Yeah, okay.
2 didn't work.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how many were paid for just election day, item counts payable.
Okay.
That seems like a small fee compared to the increase in fuel for some department would be way more than that.
Okay.
Seems like a small thing and to make it seem fair.
But this is just the training side of it.
Oh, I know, yeah, the stipend, the training.
Then they get paid, right, for
And
hours.
we asked for an increase in their hourly pay at 2024, I think. So that went from minimum wage to 15 to compensate them, because again, our argument back when we asked for that was we're to recruit younger people that are more capable of using the computer system. Because everybody wants to be a hand your ballot or a check-in, but nobody wants to touch the computer. Check-in.
The machine or at the ballot station, and, the, high school students, they honestly, they do great, they do good, they, on the computer.
So
So,
having college students that come do stuff our full-time employees can't get done.
yeah, so the high school students, they do, really good, and they enjoyed it, they did.
How many hours of training does one person have to go through? On typical,
So 8 hours.
you know,
Like,
About an hour,
That's
hour,
what-
2 hours.
That's what he's getting at, though, is if you're
Yeah.
paying about the hour.
About an hour or two, about 2 hours probably to be the tops that they were on for training.
I thought $30 should be adequate.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, then
I
also,
was thinking that the cost part, we do consider it's a stipend for those who don't run hour, they still gonna be getting $30. So you'd be actually losing money on that hand, so, you know, but a good equilibrium is that
just
it's
as,
just gonna be 2 hours, so $30 should suffice.
If it was a whole day, I would,
Right.
you gotta pay by.
Right.
Yeah, right, right.
to be at 30, if you finish it in less than an hour, you've made out, if you finish it in 3, you're still getting
you get
some, it's
So,
a
yeah.
fair, like,
Yeah, that's just. yeah.
workload, yeah,
Yeah.
And that's how we justified for
right.
And that's how we justified the board's raising compensation last year, was that we go to a conference and it's from 8 to 4, it was still $50. So that's why, so it's a stipend.
Can I switch the subject now a little bit?
Yeah.
So, some of the stuff y'all suggest or put in here, I agree with like the wall and isolating your thing, I think that's good, but I don't know if that's a recurring budget item, or is that something we should pull out as a capital
It
program?
warrants discussion, but that was an item that we attempted to do when the renovation took place.
Right,
And that was an item that I advocated for very strongly. And the building inspector made it real clear that that wasn't gonna,
yeah.
Needs
that-
it,
that-
because of the fire escape route.
We had Mr. Tutwiler out, with, when was that?
2 weeks ago.
It was a while, so time's flying this month, but if we had him out, and he did a full building inspection, and he looked at every fire code and access. And he's got some door handles he's gotta change out to make it handicap access, but he said there's no reason why we can't get that wall there.
Right.
Handicap access.
I'd like to get both Tutwiler and Edgar Mitchell together.
Fire.
And I think what I would like to do is talk about having a door, that you could use in an emergency.
Emergency.
What hearing was, if Jim's is moving, that isn't necessary, so we might need to weigh that out, because this is beyond salaries, there's a request for increase for 47,500, including capital outlay. That would be minus about 24 to 26,000 if Jim's moved, so we wouldn't have to include there. So I think,
But the real question becomes, I'm sorry, I'm back to a space manager guy.
right,
Do they need that whole additional space? If Jim's moves out, is all of that space suddenly become Board of Elections? Do they need it? Its arrangement is pretty poor. We walk through there, the arrangement is terrible. Giving you some more space is reasonable, but is there some other space in there?
And maybe we just need to renegotiate with Jim's and force, we are the landlord,
Right,
and force the issue, because I think there's maybe 1 or 2 rooms that could probably satisfy what you need, and I think one of those rooms may not have a door, but we could.
And have we had a conversation with those in gyms that we have cameras that are accessing the elections office off hours because they should not be?
Right.
Has that been addressed? Because that's a whole other issue.
Every door has a lock, and they've got the keys, and so no volunteer should be, even if they go to the bathroom down the hall where elections is, they
Right.
should not be able to access any staff areas, I wouldn't think.
Well, one time of the year, we have an issue is during training. We don't have the space to put the table and the laptops anywhere but in the hallway in front of the veterans office.
Mhm.
And that's right where we want the wall because we have people coming through their coat on top of laptops. So it's very accessible and that's not really
Yeah.
in line with the state. They don't really like that.
But
If fire and building inspectors can come together, it'd be really nice to give them that separation.
But the gym's not there, this is a new point,
And-
you say $26,000.
To put $26,000 into something where we're not gonna have that issue in 6 months.
And moving gyms over to the school would not really cost us.
But how soon is that gonna happen?
Well, I mean, they're closing the school in this fall, so.
Well, in
why can't we
this
work
summer,
together?
because
Well, they want to have some sort of.
Yeah.
summer school era. So
Although Barry now says that they weren't able to do Gatesville now.
I thought I heard that too, so.
Well, I'm just.
Anyway, my point, is there's several dominoes, I think what Scott's trying to get, there's several dominoes that go with this. And y'all need to secure your space, unequivocal about that. You're right, though, is that Jim's not gonna be there, that's fine, but if can and when can Jim's move into the school or some part of it, use part of that? My perception is the reality is space that just kind of opens up and people fill it in. There's no cost savings associated with that, with the school or with y'all space. If you need part of it, we should dedicate part of it, but then part of it should be locked off for use for storage, not heated, not
That's
electrified, whatever, do cost saving measures. And you need as an administrative leader here for the county, to do that. That needs to be what comes in as part of it. They definitely need to secure your space. I no doubt about that.
Can I address that?
Yeah.
So right behind our equipment room it's totally different lock, totally, all the computers are in there, all the machines are in there. Right behind that office or that space is another space in the gyms. If we could get an access door from our room to that room and keep that door that's on gym side locked, that would satisfy our needs. And I don't see how it costs $5,000 to build a 4-foot wide wall. I could do it for 50. Give me some 2x4s and some sheet rock, like.
She did, yeah.
But yeah, but that was buildings and grounds estimates. I don't really see how.
We're gonna run electrical wires and who knows what else and
Well, again, if there's no code issue with the wall, that can be accomplished.
And we really don't need that whole building. And that whole side of the building hasn't been renovated, hasn't been painted, so.
But if we don't get storage built, then you need something for storage.
But that room directly behind the room we currently have would be fine. So we get a doorway and a wall and locks for the windows and we're cool.
Yeah.
That changes this 26 drastically then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, as we transitioned into the building, gyms had basically the run of the building, but they only used
Parks.
that one side, but the loss for them was the loss of the big lobby. That was their staging and organizing area, and that really did put a crimp on their.
And they would get that back if they had the cash.
Cafeteria,
Yeah, they had the cafeteria, the cooler space.
the gym space and, yeah, that whole corner of that
There'll be
building,
a
cafeteria,
huge
gym,
plus for them.
yeah. Were there any other questions?
Yes.
We're just trying to
Sorry,
look
the
at
laptops.
timelines, okay.
So I'm having a hard time understanding all the laptops, 6 laptops, $7,200, but then you talk about having these 6 laptops at every precinct. You made that comment, and I'm like, well, holy cow, then that's like 30 laptops. And you have 6 scanners for $7,000 and 6 laptops for $7,200.
Yeah, just for each, for this year, I borrowed, 3 laptops from IT department. And, the state had provided us, some scanners, but those scanners, for some reason, the port.
Yeah, I'm not arguing about whether or not you need them. I guess what I'm trying to understand this is clearly define how many laptops we're talking about, how many of these scanners. Is there
Like,
6, you said 6 laptops at each precinct.
No, I'm sorry, it's just 6 laptops
So-
for each precinct.
One.
One
For
for
each precinct.
That's clarification, but I was like, well, You didn't get 30 laptops.
36 are different.
And then the question is you're saying that these make, I don't know exactly, should I scan in the code, the
barcode.
whatever. But you need a new laptop with a new scanner, a combination, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
See what it is, if we, with this, scanner that we have, it plugs into the laptop.
Okay,
So we need, so if we get that one, if we go with that one, we would have to have the laptop and the scanner. But like I said, the, state, I sent them out an email, they're trying to, find just, so we just have a scanner, a handheld scanner, so we just get, if they're able to find us just a handheld scanner, and we wouldn't need those, 6 laptops.
so how many laptops do you have right now?
It's 14.
14 spread out over all the precincts total?
Some I have 3 precincts that get 3 laptops, 2 for check-in and 1 for the, 2 for check-in and 1 for, the help desk. And then the other, precincts just have 1 for the check-in, 1 for the help desk. And then, we also use, like I said, I borrowed, 3 from IT. So we use those laptops and we had a scanner to go with it.
So if you bought these, you wouldn't need to borrow the ones from the IT department anymore, is that what would happen?
Correct.
Would happen? Okay. So does Warren and Scott, do they routinely go, would this be something they would talk about, come back and tell you that, yeah, we concur with their needs or whatever?
Oh, I've already talked with, Scott, he
Yeah,
gave me the
usually
estimate.
they send me communication that they've looked at price, they've looked at warranties, they've looked at everything.
But they also
They look at
say, yeah,
everything,
okay, all right.
Yeah, because,
So
Warren,
would that cause any of the computer laptops you currently have to be excess?
said, it-
Would any of the laptops you currently have, would these new ones replace those?
yeah, we actually need 3 new, laptops, those are, they said 7
I'm
years.
saying, so the old one's sitting there, you bring the new one in, does the old one get handed off to? IT
Yeah,
department?
it's IT department.
Okay.
So, yeah, we gotta, for time wise, yeah, this game. And we can always ask clarifying questions going forward, with whatever we have. We can get them down, we give the county manager, or we can always call for the back.
When you come see me later on, also I can clarify, I told you the slide that you sent me. No, my numbers on one street, another
Okay.
street are off.
Okay.
I know which one to go with.
Okay.
Just whenever it can change.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.